Oh, yeah, get up. I don't know how to do this. I never had
Rolly, what's up, brother? What'd you think about Ryan's performance?
I think it's funny how he didn't call me out.
Are you surprised?
No.
Here, but we gotta ask, what do you think about that Ryan fight?
I went pretty good. He did his thing.
Yeah?
It was a masterclass performance. That jab he was popping, the way he was calm, cool, collective, literally. But I love the fact that he was using his combinations, and he stuck to the game plan. You know, he just had to stay calm. That's it.
Right.
Have fun. I was yelling, have fun. Just reset. Use your jab. That's it.
Right, he landing the right hand. I mean, he was really kind of. I think everyone, or at least the ringside, had him winning all the rounds.
Yeah. No, I believe it was a shutout. But look, you can't take nothing away from Barrios. I mean, Barrios is a tough son of a gun. He really is.
Yeah,
Right.
champion, first champion, right? First championship belt.
Correct.
So I think he did well for the first time based on the circumstances.
Now,
Being out for a while, you know,
Right,
a little
for sure.
rusty. I seen a little bit of rust, but once he got going with the flow of it, you know, he'll settle down a little bit, and you know, him and his dad know what to do going forward.
Sean, what do you think about that fight, man?
Amazing. Amazing. The kid looked amazing. I'm not here to do interviews right now. I'm trying to leave. I lost my ride. I'm not doing interviews.
Appreciate it, Sean.
Yes, sir.
As soon as the opening bell sounded, everything we thought we understood about this matchup was thrown out the window. All the expectations and breakdowns from the days leading up to it instantly became irrelevant. What unfolded wasn't a slow, tactical exchange. Instead, it turned into a fierce and unpredictable clash, where every second felt charged. There was no careful measuring of distance or quiet strategy at play. It was raw intensity unfolding right in front of us.
I did expect him to get back up. And I told Holly, look, he's going to get back up. It's going to be a long fight. It's going to be a 12-round fight. Barrios is a world champion. He's nothing to lose. He's still a great human being, a great champion. And, you know, he was just outclassed by a fast.
David, what'd you think about Ryan's performance, man?
It was a good performance, man. He looked good. He looked good. He had good jab, good movement, good body shots, and bro, his speed is crazy. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's a lot of good fights from him at 147. You know, this is a good bounce back from him because this is coming back from his first loss. I mean, from his loss with Rolly, and now he's a world champion again. So, you know, not only did he gain his confidence back, gain his mojo back, and now he's going to be a force to be reckoned with at 147.
Do you think Devin Haney rematch seems to be the obvious thing?
I think that's
right?
the only thing that's appropriate. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I want to see. You know what I mean? Also, you know, still got Rolly out there too. It'd be good fights. You got some good fights for Ryan.
Ryan stepped forward with precision and urgency, his movements quick and reactive, completely locked in from the start. He unleashed rapid-fire combinations that seemed to arrive from every direction, making it difficult to track where the next shot was coming from.
What you think of Ryan's performance?
I think it was an amazing performance. Shouts out to Ryan. You're a world champ.
I got, obviously, you know, there's a lot of talk about different people that you can fight. Shakur's talked about fighting Ryan.
Yeah.
Could you see yourself in a fight with Ryan Garcia?
Man,
147?
Possibly, but look though, April 4th, DB3 Promotions is throwing our own show in the arena. 3 black men coming together as brothers. We're brothers.
Right.
DB3, we're throwing our own promotion. One of the only fighters that's doing it in the game. We throwing it in the arena. April 4th, Trotway Arena, Norfolk, Virginia. It's going down.
Tonight's performance. Ryan, what'd you think about tonight's performance?
He looked crispy. Look fast.
Hey, what's up, baby?
Right away, it became clear why he emphasized that quickness would catch people off guard. His hand speed was immediately noticeable. But then the momentum shifted. Barrios responded the way a composed, well-prepared champion should, sticking to his fundamentals and executing his plan without hesitation.
Yeah, I think he's a great fighter. What a great performance. But ultimately, you know, Ryan can get it next. I believe that's the plans. If he wants it, he can get it next. You all right? So yeah, well, let's get it done.
You see this fight behind us with Mario Barrios? Are you shocked?
I'm super shocked.
Yeah.
Ryan in there doing his big one. He on top of it. Fast, he's sharp, and instincts, everything. It seemed like everything working for him tonight.
There was no sign of anxiety and no reckless responses. He simply kept advancing with a tight guard, applying controlled and measured pressure, as if he had prepared for exactly this kind of intensity. In the opening rounds, the contrast was obvious. Ryan delivered sharp, eye-catching moments in quick flashes, while Barrios slowed everything down, taking the shots, making subtle adjustments, and gradually turning the contest into a grind, step by step.
Ryan.
Congratulations to Ryan, man. No better way than to win a world title, welterweight, WBC, the one and only. Mauricio Suleiman, Jose Suleiman. Shout out to Ryan Garcia, man.
Were you surprised how dominant of a performance it was?
No, it's just depending on which Ryan you're going to get, right? And we got the Ryan that everyone would like to see, King Ryan.
If we get that Ryan in a Devin Haney rematch, what happens?
Well, you can't put them guys in yet. We got me in division now. I'm going in that division, so we'll see.
Hey, La Jolla, Oscar, crazy fight, man. Ryan had his number. Talk to us about the fight. What did you see in that fight?
Yeah, I saw a composed Ryan. I saw a focused Ryan. You know, I saw a Ryan that knew he had to win. You know, so therefore we saw a complete Ryan. We saw a Ryan that was well trained, that was determined to win that world title. And you know, at times, you know, when you throw those combinations and he lands, he was getting a little reckless. So it's like, hey, just get your composure, go back to your jab, have fun. That's exactly what he was doing.
As the round moved deeper, momentum began to swing back and forth. At one point, the audience erupted in response to Ryan's sudden, high-speed combinations. Moments later, Mario altered the pace, steering the action into a tougher, more physical battle that demanded close-range exchanges rather than quick, flashy sequences.
I'm going to say he did call out, you know, the man that you just faced, Shakur Stevenson. If that fight plays out, knowing Shakur, knowing his style, just what happens if Ryan faces Shakur?
No, la jodida. Sí. Habla con él. Cuando yo lo llamo. Sí, okay. Yeah?
What happens if this Ryan rematches Devin at welterweight?
Hey, man. Victor Conte ain't here, man. Got rest of soul, so we'll see where that goes.
Thank you, Tio.
I saw you yelling, jab, jab, jab.
Yeah, that's the key, man. That's,
you know,
the jab is the key for every fighter. I mean, I would love to see more jabs in the game today, but once those fighters throw jabs, double, triple jab, there's no way of blocking them. Then you follow up with your combinations, then go back to the jab. You know, it's a thinking man's game.
It was possible to watch the mental battle unfold in real time, pressure colliding with patience, sudden surges clashing with disciplined control. At certain points, Ryan's quickness energized the entire arena, creating bursts of excitement. Then just as quickly, Barrios responded with resilience and well-timed counters that slowed everything down, subtly shifting the momentum back in his favor.
I don't know. That's for you guys to say. I mean, I'm always going to love the Luke Campbell one. That's like one that's always sticked in my heart that I had to fight through, got knocked down, was dazed. So that was always going to be up there for me, but this was my most mature performance for sure. And my speed was on point, my jab was on point. A lot of things were on point. I mean, I pretty much did what I was doing in camp. Just to everybody, just like staying. I realized like I'm really faster than everybody. Why am I even like moving? I could just stay right there. Counter, 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 counter.
At no point did either fighter appear shaken. Instead, both stayed committed to their own distinct way of dictating the action. That contrast is what created such a tight, uneasy atmosphere. The contest refused to fall into a steady pattern. Just when it seemed like one boxer was beginning to assert dominance, the other would immediately respond, either with precise return shots or by pushing forward with non-stop pressure to reclaim control.
Man, it was a very, very dark time. It's like that passage in the Bible by David. He said, I walked through the valley of the shadow of death. That's what I felt like. You know, I was in a very dark place, treating my body horrible, and It was hard to adjust to everything I had so quick.
Once the bout reached the later rounds, everything outside the ropes faded away. The build-up, the headlines, the pre-fight talk, none of it mattered anymore. What truly counted was focus, stamina, and the ability to stay composed while under constant pressure. It turned into a demanding high-level contest, where sudden moments of sharp execution met steady, unwavering persistence. By the time the last bell sounded, it felt like the type of performance that immediately fuels discussion and divided opinions.
I lost myself, trying to fight for something, and I lost my mind to it, because I was screaming it out loud. Oh, they're doing this, and I felt attacked for saying the things I did, and I felt a lot of spiritual attacks, and I lost it, But God had a plan for me, and He brought me back and restored me, and that's all I did. That's all I can say about that.
And as the last bell fades, leaving a charged silence hanging over the arena, it's easy to imagine Oscar de la Hoya entering the discussion with that unique blend of promoter insight and former champion perspective. He'd likely break it down with a calm, observant tone, studying both the mental layers and the physical execution at once. He might point out that this was the type of matchup where nerves, excitement, and true intent are revealed under the bright lights, not during media appearances or training footage, but in those demanding stretches of a round when focus is tested with every exchange. You can almost picture him noting how a sharper, more committed Ryan displayed bursts of the explosive power he emphasized throughout camp, while also recognizing that Barrios' poise and title fight experience ensured the contest never felt one-sided.
Great fight. Amazing fight, actually. Probably one of the best fights that we've seen in terms of just emotion, in terms of just the whole build-up and the hoopla. And it was a great fight. And what I'm proud of, actually, I have to say this, is that I got two young fighters in their prime inside one ring in New York, and the world was watching. That never happens.
That's classic Oscar at work. He doesn't just focus on speed or raw power. He reads the shifts in mindset. He'd likely remind everyone that motivation was the decisive factor tonight. And it was obvious. Both fighters displayed hunger, but in strikingly different ways. One showed it in explosive, urgent bursts, the other in calm, steadfast, strategic discipline. Then he'd probably highlight durability, with that subtle nod and comment. When a champion absorbs punishment and keeps pressing forward, it reshapes the entire fight, without ever naming who dominated. With the way control kept swinging back and forth, his reaction wouldn't feel like cheering or criticism. It would carry genuine fascination, watching two mentalities clash as much as two styles, acknowledging that the true story of the fight lies not in the outcome, but in what each fighter revealed about themselves under intense pressure.
Tired after the first knockdown, because I noticed when Ryan would turn and do the shoulder roll,
you know what it is?
He would just swing and
he was getting
discouraged.
discouraged. He was getting discouraged, and that can wear you out as well.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, it can discourage you and it can get you tired.
Yeah.
And that's what was happening. I mean, Ryan's a big kid. Weighed in 140, Mario was 160.
Yeah.
So we had two big guys up there, So the difference was Ryan Garcia is a puncher.
Then that calm, analytical Oscar-style breakdown instantly shifts when you picture Eddie Hearn reacting. The mood changes from measured reflection to high-energy, business-focused excitement. Eddie wouldn't be quietly analyzing lessons. He'd be moving, eyes wide, emphasizing the drama, the pivotal moments, and the overall spectacle. It would feel like he just watched a financial thriller masquerading as a boxing match. You can almost hear him pointing out that this fight had it all. Swings and tension, rapid momentum changes, and psychological battles unfolding mid-round. Neither fighter allowed the story to settle for more than a few seconds. And that's exactly what he'd seize on, unpredictability. He'd emphasize how Ryan's sudden bursts of speed sparked instantaneous surges of danger that lit up the entire arena.
We saw behind closed doors that kind of atmosphere definitely has an effect on performance.
Right.
But you know what to expect, and I just feel like, I was actually quite not disappointed. I was quite upset that Ryan didn't perform, because I was really pleased for him that he turned his life around. To see him on that Devin Haney fight week, the difference between that and seeing him here on Fight Week. He looked great. Like, his face looked fresh again. Great looking kid. And I was thinking, wow.
At the same time, he'd highlight Barrios' calmness, resilience, and ability to stay mentally steady even as the action became chaotic. That's classic Eddie energy, celebrating explosive moments while still acknowledging discipline fundamentals. Then he'd shift to the promotional perspective, emphasizing the event's spectacle without pinpointing who dominated. From a promoter's point of view, continuous tension often matters more than a clear-cut outcome. You can imagine him noting how every time one fighter seemed ready to take full control, the other immediately responded, keeping the intensity high and the emotional stakes balanced. In his framing, this wouldn't read as a simple win or lose story. Instead, it would be a defining moment for both athletes, a performance that boosts reputations, sparks rematch speculation, and leaves the boxing community debating even more fiercely after the final bell than during the fight itself.
Eddie, just your reaction, man.
I can't believe it. I mean, I said, this kind of environment, like, sometimes it can just, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean...
Flabbergasted?
You know, tonight was going to be those two in the ring facing off for the big rematch.
It's done?
As Eddie's promoter-focused breakdown fades, the perspective shifts into pure technical analysis. Once Chris Algieri begins dissecting the fight, it's no longer about spectacle. It's about the subtle details that casual viewers often miss. You can imagine him leaning back, scrutinizing the replay, and immediately highlighting how tempo was constantly being disrupted. Neither fighter ever settled into a smooth rhythm. One moment, Ryan's speed seemed to control the exchanges. The next, Barrios' physicality slowed the action, creating a push and pull that showed both camps executing parts of their strategy without fully dominating the fight. Algieri would focus on the small, often overlooked interactions, like the way the jab subtly shifted momentum, rather than the flashy sequences everyone clips for social media.
Shocked me. I didn't think that he was going to be able to do the 12 rounds route. He looked really good until the 12th round. And Barrios just didn't do enough, man. He just was stuck in second gear. It seemed like there were a lot of opportunities for him to take advantage, and he just didn't. He did a great job of utilizing the crowd, utilizing his hand speed, his foot speed, some movement just to keep the emotion.
You can almost picture him saying, "Watch the feet, watch the distance." There were stretches where positioning mattered far more than raw attack. That's where the fight becomes truly intriguing. Ryan delivered sudden bursts that struck like lightning, quick, explosive, and hard to predict. Meanwhile, Barrios relied on steady pressure and subtle, precise adjustments, a patience that forced constant engagement rather than allowing the other fighter to coast. Algieri would likely highlight that chess-like quality. He'd note how resilience and composure kept the intensity high even in the later rounds, as neither fighter broke mentally when the action became tough. From a stamina perspective, it was far from one-sided. Two distinct energy systems at work, one built on rapid surges of speed, the other on consistent, enduring output. Technically, it got messy at times, but strategically, it was captivating. This was exactly the kind of contest analysts would watch multiple times, while fans might only debate it once.
Saying during the PPV.com live chat, I mean, Barrios fighting with zero swagger, with no attitude. Like, it just wasn't selling anything he was doing. He did a lot of good work, but it was like you had to be really, really watching to see him do it. He was able to, to fight at that level. But I think, Barrios is definitely gonna want to fight. It's money. It's a big money opportunity.
Detailed diagrams and technical breakdowns are one thing, but now the emotional perspective takes over. Imagine Henry Garcia reacting after the fight. It's not about analyst talk. It's the mix of fatherly concern, coach's insight, pride, and quiet relief. He'd likely begin by highlighting discipline rather than flashy moments, showing how every effort and sacrifice during training camp manifested under the bright lights. You can picture him replaying certain rounds in his mind instead of focusing on the final score. There's a tone of observation. I saw the focus. I saw the maturity, which communicates far more than any scorecard could. He wouldn't overpraise either. He'd stay measured, noting adjustments, maintain composure, the intensity of exchanges, and the moments where Ryan held back. Choices that older versions of him might have rushed into.
But I tell everybody, and they don't listen, they're stupid, okay? My son hits you, you're done.
Yeah, man.
You're fucking done. But they're stupid, okay? And that's what they get. That's what everybody gets. All the haters, Paul Malignaggi, he's stupid. You know, Porter, you know, all those, Algeria, he's a piece of shit, you know? And even Timothy Bradley, they're all pieces of shit.
What'd you think of that judge that scored it a draw?
That's up.
Yeah, right?
You know, he was kicking
knockdown?
Four
Was it
knockdowns,
four?
yeah.
Jeez.
And then, well, a draw, get me the fuck out of here.
That contrast alone reads like a coach witnessing growth unfold in real time, not just a sequence of punches. At the same time, he'd recognize Barrios' toughness, durability, and mental resilience, the type of opponent who demands a fighter confront their own limits. You can almost hear Henry noting the discipline displayed by both men, while quietly pointing out how thorough preparation meets real resistance in the ring. There's no over-the-top celebration, no dramatic proclamations, just a calm, measured satisfaction, paired with that trainer's mindset of there's still room to improve. That reaction carries a unique weight because it doesn't celebrate victory. It affirms the process. It frames the fight not as a conclusion, but as a checkpoint in an ongoing journey.
Okay? For hating on my son. You're a piece of shit.
Henry, how proud
Okay?
are you?
I'm very proud. And I can't stand the people that went against him. But you know what? I'm glad. I'm glad you lost. I'm glad you lost a lot of money. I'm so glad. You gotta listen to me. I would tell people. I would text you. If my son hits that guy solid, he's either gonna wobble or get dropped. Did I lie?
You didn't. Garcia, what were your...
Yes, he's totally focused. He'll drop down to 140. But honestly, he's 147.
When you step back and take it all in, this fight stops feeling like a simple win or lose scenario and starts looking like a psychological study played out under the lights. You saw bursts of speed meeting disciplined pressure, emotional spikes colliding with championship-level composure, and momentum swinging so often that the bout refused to settle into a single storyline. The imagined post-fight perspectives each highlighted different truths. Oscar breaking down mindset, Eddie emphasizing the spectacle, Algieri analyzing spacing and tempo, and Henry focusing on growth and discipline. That alone shows how many layers this performance had. This wasn't a story of clean domination. It was tension in motion, brilliant offensive flashes checked by resilience, steady strategy disrupted by sudden bursts. One fighter displayed urgency, hunger, and sharp combinations, while the other demonstrated patience, durability, and that champion's refusal to mentally crack under shifting momentum. That's why the final bell didn't feel like an ending. It sparked discussion instead. It wasn't just about who landed more punches. It was about who truly controlled the fight at the critical moments. In bouts like this, perception, rhythm, control, and mental toughness matter just as much as raw output. Where do you stand? Did Ryan's explosive speed and the constant swings leave the stronger impression? Or did Barrios' composure, steady pressure, and consistency quietly shape the fight more than most will admit? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's break this one down. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.